Hey, what's up, everybody? How are you guys doing this Sunday? Hopefully, great. Let's see. Hey, guys. All right, let's see. Let's see who we got in the building. I seen South National. I'm gonna behave. I'm gonna behave today, so I think. Well, we'll see. We'll get there. I told you I was. What is that? It's like, what is this? Anyway, let's see who else we got. Hey, Oscar. Christina in the building. Last live, you just ended and left me in the dark. I put my shit on the bed and everything. All right, you can definitely ask some questions you guys want to ask. I don't know what happened. I hit something on here and it was just like, I was like, forget it. So we'll get into that. But I did want to tell you guys who all got tickets into the raffle. The gift card raffle where I just give you gift cards and stuff like that. First 5 in, last live was Oscar, Miranda, Michael, Miss Veronica, and Jay Savage. So I put all of you guys in the drawing. First one in gets 2 tickets. So today will definitely be South National. And then for if you're on the panel, I didn't keep that live up because I'm trying to figure out a way to make it 18 and older. And I know that I can. I just have to figure it out because I just want it to be categorized in the right place on YouTube. So the panel was Michael, LaKendra, Jeanette, Miss Veronica, and Oscar. So that would be the second ticket in there, just to let you guys know. So today, for anyone that has not heard, we're talking about Felicia Marie Johnson. I did reach out to who I think is her father, Kevin Johnson, but I'm not sure. So we were texting back and forth. But I've learned from experience, I at least need to hear who I'm talking to on the other end, unless, or like video chat or something, because I don't know who I could be texting or talking to and giving information to. So it's not like I know where she is or anything like that, but I feel like Kevin is doing anything possible to find his daughter, as we all would, and kind of jumping the gun a little bit. Because with the information, hold on, guys, a quick second. My light be tripping. Okay. Because with the video I'm going to play for you guys right now, the information that they said inside of that news clip, they already know who they're looking for. So to me, there's no reason to have a private investigator or anything like that, because yeah, they may not be telling us what they're doing, but if they are dealing with a man that is a VIP of this club, they know exactly who they're looking for. So I'm going to play that clip for you guys real quick, because that's very telling that the police are on it, because there's no way. So let me put this up here. Hey, behind the bar, how are you? All these buttons, I swear. Here we go. All right. So make it large for you guys.
Year-old who vanished after leaving a Houston club continues. The search for a 24-year-old who vanished after leaving a Houston club continues as Fox 26's Gabby Hart speaks with that woman's father. one-on-one today, joining us live from outside the CoverGirls adult nightclub. And Gabby, we understand this was the last place that she was seen.
It is. Felicia Johnson travels from San Diego to Houston hoping to work here at CoverGirls. We're told that after leaving an audition, she got a ride from a customer that she didn't know. It was the last time anyone saw or heard from this young woman.
You guys, he's so scared.
A brother wondering when his big sister will return home, and a father holding out hope that she's still alive.
Man, I'm just trying to keep myself together. I'm hoping that she's alive.
24-year-old Felicia Johnson was last seen on Friday, April 15th. She was leaving CoverGirl Strip Club on West Little York Road. Her father, Kevin Johnson, says his daughter traveled to Houston to visit family, and she tried to get a job as a dancer at CoverGirls.
These people are young adults, and they just living their life, and nobody's perfect, and sometimes people make mistakes.
After being turned down for the position, she was waiting on an Uber when a customer offered her a ride back to her hotel.
One of their regulars, one of their VIPs.
When no one heard from Felicia Friday night, they became worried. On Saturday morning.
So that is what makes me believe 100% that the police know exactly who they're dealing with. If he's a regular there and a VIP member, they know who this is. Like I said, there's cameras everywhere in these establishments. Now, if they're going to twerk the cameras and say they don't have footage from there, possibly. It happens all the time. But if he's a VIP member, normally they have to put your name in the system. They see your ID. You're using your card there. They know exactly who they're dealing with. That's why I don't feel like there's a need of a private investigator. I know there's a want for answers, but if we don't want to jeopardize the case, they can't say anything. They could be watching whoever this person is, seeing their movements to try to find her, but they can't give that out even to a parent. So let's continue.
They tracked her phone to Bear Creek Park, 4 miles from the strip club where she was last seen. It was found on the side of the road, covered in blood.
I'm running off of pure faith and just not giving up on her, that we're going to get her back.
Texas EquuSearch scoured the park searching for Felicia with no luck. Her father flew in from San Diego to assist, but he says he believes she's still out there, alive and in danger.
I think she got caught up in one of those sex trafficking, human trafficking situations where they are snatching up these out-of-town girls and putting them to work. That's what I think happened to her. And I don't have any proof, but I feel in my heart that strip club has something to do with it.
We reached out to CoverGirl Strip Club for a comment. I was told the owners never come into the establishment and there was no way for us to speak with them. They also said the manager doesn't take phone calls. Felicia's father has hired a private investigator, and he says he's not stopping until he brings his daughter home.
I'm going to be here as long as I can, and just in hopes that something positive comes out of this.
Now, we did learn that the FBI is investigating and looking into her disappearance. Police also searching through surveillance footage, but as of right now, there's no information as far as a suspect. Of course, as soon as we learn more, we'll let you know. For now, I'm reporting live. Gabby Hart, Fox 26 News.
So with that information right there, it's very telling. They're not going to tell you who the suspect is. They're not. And I honestly do not believe that it has anything to do with sex trafficking at all. Nothing to do with sex trafficking. I could be wrong, but I just don't feel like it has anything to do with sex trafficking. First of all, the phone that they said that they found on the side of the road. In the press conference we heard, and I think I'm going to just post the actual press conference on my page in full so you guys can see. And I'll put the captions on there to what parts I'm talking about in particular. But in there, I don't know if it was Cornell or the dad said it was like she broke a nail and that was the blood on the phone. So was the phone bloodied? Because we're playing with words here now. Was the phone bloodied or was there just like a little bit of blood on the phone? And if they had to, if it was traffickers, they're not going to leave some type of evidence like that. She's going to be snatched up, gone. They're going to confiscate that phone so it's not just found. It could have been in the heat of the moment. I believe the father said she left around 2 a.m. And I believe that closes at 2 a.m. So if that's true, and this is a regular that's there, and he's a VIP customer, not just a regular that's there all the time, but he's a VIP customer. If we're taking the words from Cornell and the father, because we're not getting this from the police, but if he is, could he have been getting VIP dances that night, wasn't fully satisfied when he left? He knew, hey, this girl just came in. She's looking for work. He goes out and check and see, oh, what's going on? She's waiting for an Uber. Oh, making her feel real comfortable. He comes out of the club. She's thinking, okay, well, and he's like, I'll give you back a ride to your hotel. That is the main thing that you do not do. You never let anybody in the club know where your hotel is, not even the managers, especially if you are out of town, because they can send people there. The industry is so corrupt. Someone can pay the manager like, hey, do you know where they're staying at? And with being a traveler, they know you may not know too much about the area. You don't know the company that club keeps. And you are a target anytime you go out of town. So if he's VIP, they know exactly who he is. But I was saying, could it be a possibility that he wasn't satisfied, went and was saying, hey, I'm going to take you to your hotel, made advances to her in the car, one thing led to another, and something happened? Because if this is a regular in the club, they can ask all the girls that get dances with him, or if he's not the type that get dances, and just go there for conversation. There's girls that talk to him, and guys in these clubs will tell you, hey, I come here, some guys, I come here just to have a woman to talk to. Most of them are married, and sorry, I'm clicking the pen. Most of them are married and say like, hey, I can't have the conversations I have with you with my wife. And literally you will know that guy's everything, because they will sit there and tell you everything. Because it's like, I don't know, I've asked them so many times, like, why do you come here and just say like all your business? But they say because they feel more comfortable, and we get paid to listen, so I guess we just listen. And then you develop relationships with certain customers that come there all the time. So whoever this guy is, the bar, I took my nails off. The bar, you're on a whole nother conversation. I don't have nails on right now. I had red ones last. Hold on, let me see. I don't think she is. That club knows that. Yep, they sure do. Yep. Lost my train of thought, but long story short, they know exactly who it is. They're going to speak to all the girls in the club that deal with this guy. They're going to go over the cameras. They're going to look and see his transactions there. They already have their eye on somebody, period. So I that's why I'm saying I don't think Kevin should, if it is true that, here, let me pop it up. I mean, I definitely think he should have this GoFundMe to help his stay out there. But if it is true what people are saying, that the $10,000 is to hire a private investigator, that's just not needed. I feel like, yes, stay down there, hotel, eating, whatever you need. People should be there to support you. But they got this under control. They do. I believe if she's not found, it will be known who was involved and what ended up happening. So let's see. Behind the bar, okay. I am gonna put this in the chat. I'm not gonna have this live be too long. I am going to also talk about ways to recognize trafficking. Like I said, I do not feel like that is the case. Me saying never let anybody know what hotel you're staying at when you go to any places like this is because I've had an incident when I went out of town, and it was me and some of my friends, and we didn't know that the guy we were talking to at the club was actually staying in the same hotel that we were staying in. And he knew exactly where our room was because he's seen us there earlier in the day. And as we were getting dressed, I guess he's seen us leaving, put two and two together, and he was at the club. We didn't see him or anything like that. So when we got back to the hotel, we're getting undressed, showering and stuff, we heard a knock at the door. And it's this guy, and we're like, what? Like, how would he even know? Either he had to follow us from the club, but I don't know. And so his room was like not too far from us. Like you can see his window from ours. And so we were just like, no, we put all the chairs in front of the doors, locked it. Like we had in front of the windows, we took the big dresser, we put that in front of the window. Like we were like, no, we put stuff on the dresser too. So like if he were to knock it over, we could hear it. Like he was so creepy. So you just never let those people know anything about you because people are crazy out there and they will follow you. Hey, what's up, Bill? It's been a minute. So I did put the link in the chat right here if anybody wants to pop up. Yes, definitely stalker. And that's why I don't choose to live like by myself now. I've had so many situations where people have found out where I lived. And it's not like it's a problem. It's just when they make it to the point where it becomes an obsession and you feel like this person is a threat now. Like they're constantly waiting for you when you get off of work. They're constantly everywhere that you are. I don't know. It does get scary. And for anybody out there, never, ever, ever, when you go to these places, let anyone know too much about you. You shouldn't even really let them know that you're from out of town because that is the main targets they go for as well. And they were saying that this club is, here, let me put it up there. This club is more catering to the Hispanic community. And some people are like, is that a real thing? Yes, it is. Certain clubs cater to certain ethnicities or cultures or whatever you want to say. Some clubs, they'll be like, oh, yeah, that's a white club. Oh, yeah, that's a black club. Like a club like Onyx would be considered a black club. And most of the time, if you are a Caucasian female and go to places like that, you won't be hired. But nowadays, with a lot of girls getting all these surgeries done and, able to twerk or whatever they want you to do, and you go on that stage and you do a thing, they are hiring a lot of other ethnicities. I believe that black clubs are more open to hiring other races, but white clubs, quote unquote, no. You could literally walk in there, be as gorgeous as possible. I mean, model type. And just because you're African American, they'll be like, don't even see your talent on stage, nothing. For instance, like in Vegas, it's hard for African American girls to get into mainstream clubs like Experiment or dang, it's been a minute. Dang, what is it called? I can't think of it right now. It's the other one on there. Anyway, like bigger clubs like that. So when I would travel, I would have to like choose my friends wisely, because I was able to get into white clubs because my style of dancing wasn't black, as they would say, you know. So it was easier for me, and I was like really skinny. So it kind of was easy for me to get into any type of, I guess you guys would say, sector in that industry. But if I knew I was going to Houston, I did go with a Caucasian girl, but she was more urban, I guess. So she did fit into the clubs we went into. But it's crazy because I also went to a white club there and I was able to get in, but she wasn't. So it just depends, but they are really selective. And sometimes there is black and brown hatred towards each other. And so she could have walked into this establishment. They seen that she was African American and was like, yep, no. And being from out of town, yeah, you're considered disposable. So I don't know. This can go so many ways. But like I said, I do not feel like this is a trafficking situation. I really do feel wrong place, wrong time. And this man ended up doing something that he normally wouldn't have done, maybe. But I'm sure they've looked into his background and things like that. So let me see. I did want to play. Wait, does it say an hour? Okay, hold on. That's not it. Where'd it go? Oh, let me actually pop this up for. Hey, Etta B, how are you? It's been a minute. Good day. How are you? Here we go. So here is her flyer. Oh, this one it's not that clear. I don't know if you guys can see that clearly because on my screen it's small. Let me make it big. Okay, so you guys should be able to read it. So here's all the things you guys need to know about her. Is if anybody has heard anything about this young lady or where she can possibly be, or even knows the person that was in this establishment at the time, please call the police department, the Houston Police Department, and give them any information you have, even if it's something little and you're like, oh, well, that may not, work. This is the distance from the club to the park. And I'm wondering, because they say on the side of the road and they say in the park, was it well off into this park or was it on the side of the road by the park? Because that makes a difference. And then some are saying it was 4 miles away, 6 miles away. When I looked it up, it's 6.7 miles away in 11 minutes. So this is, let me show you. I did pop up her, the GoFundMe. I'll do that again if you guys can help out this father. And I really think it should be for his stay there to make sure he brings his daughter home. This is it. I will also put the link to the GoFundMe in the description box. That way you guys can just click it and go right to it. Let me see. I'm trying to find this video that I had up here. But here's her EquuSearch information. They are another good team of people that help look for missing people. Here we go. And I'm just happy that they were able to hop on this case because some cases don't get to utilize this company. So here's her on this site. Her stats are right here as well. So her name, like I said, is Felicia Marie Johnson, missing 4/15 of 2022. earlier this month, and it was 5 days 5 days after, her 24th birthday. She turned 24 on the 10th of April. She was born in 1988, African American female. African American Hispanic is what they're saying. Dark skin complected, about 5'4", 150 pounds. And here's the contact information right here. So right here, I'm highlighting it. That's the officer's name and the number that you can call to give any information that you guys have, anything. I'm still not able to find this video. Let me see if I could type it in really quickly though. Give me a second. It is so hot out here, guys, today. Just to give ones that do not know too much about this case a little overview of what's going on. Where is it at? When you're looking for something, you never can find it, right? But if I were to just type this in, it would pop up. Here, I'll do this one. This is one, if you've been following, we've seen this one before. So let's share it real quick. And then I'm gonna wrap this up. I just wanted to give like a little bit of insight on what I think happened in this situation, because I mean, that's the first thing people want to jump to and say, hey, I think it's trafficking. So many other possibilities in this situation where, yeah, she's young. And like her dad said, you know, young people and people in general do make mistakes. And her biggest mistake is being beautiful, not mistake, but, you know, and this man seeing her and taking advantage of the situation. So if he said he was going to give her a ride, he should have done that and left it at that. Now, though I hope she's still alive, he's making it worse for himself by not coming forward. And I'm just saying, you would rather have a kidnapping charge than a murder charge. So if you are out there, just return her back. Like, let's check this out real quick.
A week since a California woman disappeared here in Houston.
24-year-old Felicia Johnson was last seen at a local nightclub on Friday. Her bloody cell phone recovered later at a park in West Houston. Brittany Ford is live now at Bear Creek Park, where the phone was found. Brittany, what's the latest on the search?
Well, I was told that search dogs were ran throughout the area here this morning. You can see that investigators have since wrapped up their investigation here. Now, today I spoke with Felicia's father, who shared more about his 24-year-old daughter. It's here at Cover Girl nightclub that 24-year-old Felicia Johnson was last seen April 15th.
Very sweet person, kind heart, give you the shirt off her back. And it's just a shame that she's being put through this ordeal.
Her family believes Johnson got a ride from an unidentified person after her Uber was running late. Police working to get surveillance video.
It's unreal. It's unreal. I'm numb right now. I can't feel anything.
Her father, Kevin, desperate for answers. He says the 24-year-old was an aspiring model who loved to do hair and makeup.
She wanted to be a dancer, model, anything that has to do with glamour. That was basically who she was and or who she is.
Born and raised in San Diego, California, he says Johnson was in Houston visiting family celebrating her 24th birthday. The family working with Houston police, but also the help of community activist Quanell X and a private investigator, sending this message to anyone who may have been involved in Felicia's disappearance.
just come forward. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be caught up in this net when the authorities do catch these people.
The Texas EquuSearch says they are working closely with the Houston Police Department for any other potential search locations. Anyone with any information is being encouraged to call police.
So to answer your question, Christina, yes, the police have said nothing. The father and Quanell X, I believe you heard, said bloodied cell phone. But in the press conference, it was kind of insinuated that, oh, it could have been from a broken nail. So, because when I hear bloodied, I just think like covered in blood. And that would make it seem more of a more serious situation. But if it was just like a little bit of blood, like maybe from a nail or something, like they said, it could have been a struggle, you know, and then they tossed it out there. And then I don't know exactly what this means. Social, I'm not social. So I try to mix it. South National, the parks outside the city, question mark, because that's a question mark. The park is 11 minutes away from Cover Girls. And according to my calculations with Google, it says 6.7 miles. But the news said for another thing said another number that was just not what it said. Let me see. You talking about my friend Quanell, huh? You already know how I feel about him. I just feel like I hope he didn't see this story and hop and got in contact with this father, this grieving father, and has taken advantage of, you know, his grief. I would not have a private investigator this early in a case like this. Like I said, over and over, if it is true what Quanell and the dad is saying, that they were told that this was a VIP customer, this was a regular, they have his information. And if they don't have his information, which I highly doubt, there are girls in this club that I'm sure they're going to interview that knows a lot about this man, because men that are regulars in these clubs get close relationships with the girls that work there, whether it's the bartender, the waitress, the house mom, the manager, anybody that's there on a regular, the cook. They know the cook half the time because they're there all the time. The cook knows the meal they like. They get chicken wings with a Coke and a side of pickles. They will know who this person is. And I feel, and I could be wrong, like Quanell is milking another situation. I could be completely wrong about this man, but just what I see from afar just rubs me the wrong way. I think personally she's, whoa! I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that. I always try, even though it's a thought in my mind, I try not to speak those things into existence just because there's always a what if. And I do feel like if she is alive, if they don't get on it, because it's getting bigger and bigger, and this person is going to have anxiety of what do I need to do? What do I need to do? That's why I'm saying this person is out there watching this. You do not want to make it worse. Go ahead and chop it up and give her back to her family and leave it as that, because an actual murder charge is going to haunt you way more than a kidnapping charge or whatever else it can be. You know, you can still make it better now. With the blood on the cell phone, if it is really just a little speck or something like that, a little bit, because they said the police did not want to take the phone. I wonder why that is, but they will still be able to find out what pings are going on. And I do want to know how the family knows that she called an Uber and it was taking too long, and that's why she got into the car with a patron of the club. Because how is there so many details that you know exactly the reason why she got into the car, but nobody knows what clothing she had on? And they should know that from the videos. Because if she just walked into the club, they had to see her walk in what she came in with. If she didn't get undressed to get on stage and perform, then they know what she had on when she left. Now, she could have had something on and then she went in, performed, was trying to hurry up and get dressed because whatever, they're like, no, or whatever. And then when she came back out, you know, maybe she had on the bikini top and, you know, just tossed on a jacket over it. And that could change what was on when she walked in and when she walked out. She could have not wanted to put her tennis shoes back on and had the spare flip-flops or something. That would change that. But the police, I believe, in this situation has a lot more than they're letting the public know. And that is for a reason. And sometimes people need to sit back and let them do their jobs. They're the professionals. Let them do their job. I know we want answers and they get on my nerves too. But at the end of the day, they are qualified for this. They have the means to look way more into things than us just as a lay person can. So right now, I think it's a waiting game, like in all of these situations. And we just need to leave it at that and let them go ahead and do it. Now, if they weren't doing anything and we are some time down the line now, then yeah, go ahead, get a private investigator to look into certain things. And if Quanell is trying to do something different, I believe he should try to get into this club. Maybe not him himself, because they're going to know kind of what he's up to, but can have somebody go into this cover girls club, get to talking to these girls in the club, even switch it up, send a girl in there, get to, you know, have a girl go try out an audition and get into this club. And you're going to hear all the talking that's going on in the locker room. They gonna know exactly who this customer is. So you'll be able to get that information and be able to do your due diligence, There's just so many ways to find out more information than the police is allowing us to have at this moment. But it's not for me to do. And I'm just trying to get the word out there so people can wake up and see what's going on in these types of environments, because it is very toxic. And like the dad said, he feels like the club has something to do with it. Can I say that 100%? No. But with them saying, oh, we don't talk over the phone, stop it. You can talk over the phone. And you don't want to now because of what's going on. The owner is never there. That's fairly true in a lot of these clubs. The owners do not, these bigger establishments, the owners are not at this club. They got other people running it. They barely probably even know what's going on. They're just receiving the money. They got other people to do that stuff. So the owners are not going to be there. Now, okay, so when I was working at Hustlers, the only time we would see Larry Flint is if there's a big event going on. And it's not every big event, but just here and there, Larry Flint would come in. And that's the only time you would see the owner of that club. Otherwise, no. They got people running this club and they're not in those clubs at all. So that is true when they say the owners are not there. Can they get a hold of them? a lot of the times the club manager has to go through hoops to get to the actual owner. They'll speak to some people beneath, but the owner should come out in a situation like this, because I do feel like this young lady, even if she did not get on that stage, should have been walked out by a bouncer, and they should have made sure that she got into her Uber or taxi. Now, they couldn't stop her if it was a random person coming to pick her up, but when it's a client coming from inside of the club out, so she's not an employee there, she can get in the car. But if she worked there, it would be not looked at as a great thing to do. So I don't know. I'm going to continue to look into this case. I will be back live a little bit later on tonight, just so we can talk about the human trafficking side of these things and signs to look out for, and stuff like that. So I just wanted to let you guys know what I think happened. I do think she got into the car with this man. He made her feel comfortable. He seen her coming out of the club. He may have said a few words to her in the club, knew that she was leaving. Hey, I'll give you a ride back. So she's like, okay, now I don't got to pay Uber. I'm right down the street or wherever she was. Yeah, you can drop me off. One thing led to another, and this is where we are now. Because if the phone was found there, I just really don't think it has anything to do with trafficking. I don't feel like something so organized like that will leave trails like that to be found in such carelessness just on the side of the road. So I will talk to you guys a little bit later tonight. See ya. Bye-bye.